I started SMMA in 2018, kind of back in the good old days, right? When Tai Lopez, Iman Gatti were making their videos, everything was going great and the industry was flourishing. You didn't have too much competition whatsoever. It was still somewhat fairly new business model, and the prospects that you were reaching out to, if anything, they're actually in desperate need of help with their social media marketing. That was back then. And for me, I remember one of the biggest problems that I faced when I was starting out was figuring out what niche do I actually work with, right? So I understand I need to help businesses with their social media marketing, but what businesses do I go after? Do I go after all of them, or do I go after a specific niche? And after doing lots of research and learning myself, the idea is that you should pick one niche and just go down that one route, because you're going to find it a lot easier to reach out to them and actually get clients. So then that brought me on to the next big hurdle, which is what was the best niche? Which one should I go after? And that was a problem that I faced, and I know hundreds, if not thousands of people faced as well, which is just constantly switching from niche to niche, figuring out what's the next big thing, what's the easiest, what's the best, what's the most lucrative way to actually make money in SMMA. And for me, it took me about 2-3 years to really figure out, okay, this is the niche for me. And for context, if anybody's curious, I used to work with car dealerships, and then eventually, kind of a year or two later, because of the pandemic, actually switched to working with law firms. But anyway, that's not the point of this video. The point of this video, and as you probably read from the title, is the best niche in SMMA. And the title probably says it's OFM. And if you're curious, what is that, right? Now, for me, during that period, it was just the most frustrating thing ever, because I was reaching out, I was doing hundreds of thousands of outreaches, so many potential sales calls, and just getting no after no. And it was just so frustrating. And then eventually getting that client, and then every single morning you wake up with that anxious feeling like, has my ads account been banned today? And then if it has, I have to create a new one, the client's upset, and just overall it was just so stressful to actually build an SMMA. And that was at least the traditional way, right? So I tried to think kind of outside the box. Okay, so the principle was all the same. The principle is you provide a service which is marketing to a set industry who desperately needs help with your marketing. I understood the marketing part, but the part about who do I work with, I feel like he didn't quite hit it, right? I work with car dealerships because I like cars, I'm passionate about them, and I enjoyed it, but there wasn't that much money in it. And then the law firms that I worked with, there was a lot of money in it, but I wasn't passionate, and I didn't know anything about law. So I still didn't really feel like I found kind of that right thing, what should I do? Who should I work with? Until I started really thinking outside the box. So then that brought me to thinking, okay, again, if I just strip it back to the principles, what do you actually need in a niche to be successful, right? At least at the time, like I said, it was pandemic time. I was kind of more so thinking about, okay, this business or this niche has to be online. Of course, it has to be able to still be, working during this crazy time. And also, obviously, it has to be lucrative and just still growing, right? It can't be something like, for example, like newspapers. That industry has been going downhill probably for the last, I don't know how many years, 5-10 years, until I found out about OnlyFans. Now, for me personally, the way I've really learned and got into OnlyFans was through meeting these content creators in person. I was traveling, I was living the whole digital nomad lifestyle, and a lot of girls that I was meeting were actually doing OnlyFans already. And I would just see on their screen, on their phone, how much money they were making. And there was a very, very common pattern, pretty much the same as every business, that the problem that we're facing is just traffic. How can I market myself? How can I get in front of more people? Therefore, they would make a lot more money. And that's kind of where I got the idea of, okay, well, it's kind of like SMMA. I've already been doing this nerdy shit for like 5-6 years. I know how to do marketing, I know how to do social media, I know how to do content. Well, why don't I just help OnlyFans creators, as that's my niche? Because I had no idea, like nobody else was doing it. And it was kind of the blue ocean, red ocean, right? And it was like an aha moment. It was just incredible. So I figured, right, with the huge rise of OnlyFans, it's everywhere on social media, it's only getting bigger and bigger. I thought with the rise of OnlyFans, there's going to be more creators, there's going to be more potential clients to work with, and there's just going to be more money to be made. And boy, was I right. And yeah, so that's what we do now. So we just run an OnlyFans management agency, which to me is still the same as SMMA. It's just a different niche. But now I don't have to worry about generating, dental practice leads, chiropractic leads, and talking to people like these business owners that maybe I'm not really passionate about. I have no similar interests as them. And definitely I don't fucking wake up thinking, oh my God, is my ads account going to be banned today? You know, I don't have these stresses anymore, which is like the best feeling ever. So if you're still watching this and you're obviously curious about what is the best niche for SMMA in 2023, I strongly believe that OnlyFans is by far one of the best niches that you can go down. So in this video, we're going to cover these 6 different topics, everything from getting started to automation, client acquisition, to even scaling, right? All of these different topics we're going to cover in today's video. So let's just jump straight into it. So first things first, the setup, right? It's pretty simple. The same as SMMA. You don't have to overthink it. You don't have to have an amazing website, a great social media platform. You don't have to have any of these things. Getting started is super simple, because straight away going on to point number 2, you know, client acquisition. Client acquisition is by far easier than SMMA. I mean, think about it. Who is your ideal client? Typically your ideal clients are going to be other girls who are doing OnlyFans, right? Now, for you watching this, most of you guys will probably at least know somebody from your college or your university that you went to school with that's probably doing OnlyFans nowadays, right? Just simply reach out to them, and those are probably going to be your first clients. There is no sales involved. Think about it, right? You're literally just speaking to another girl and agreeing to help her with her OnlyFans and help her market online. Right? It's as simple as that. There's no crazy email automation flow and outreach and having to warm up your email. You don't have to do any cold calling. There's literally no cold calling involved. For us, we don't do any email outreach. It's literally just an Instagram DM, hey, yeah, cool, boom. Or even better off, like I said, how I started was literally just meeting some girls in person, right? Obviously, don't be a fucking weirdo or some creep. If you just meet a girl and you happen to have that conversation with her, and she maybe does OnlyFans, or she knows of a girl who does OnlyFans, simply like that, that could be your first client. It is literally as easy as that. And one more thing to mention about client acquisition, here's the reason why it's so great to go down the OFM route rather than any other niche in SMMA, is simply the fact that supply and demand is heavily in your favor. The reason why I actually quit SMMA as such, working with law firms and your traditional B2B niches, is simply because supply and demand pretty much isn't in your favor anymore. I mean, granted, there are still a lot more B2B businesses than there are marketing agencies, but most of these businesses have already been reached out to by some schmuck down the road who's probably ruined everyone's reputation as a marketing agency, and now you have to reach out to this business and convince them that, oh my God, like I am gonna help you, I'm actually legit, blah, blah, right? With OnlyFans management, most of these girls haven't ever had a management agency, so you might actually be the first one to ever reach out to them. So as you can imagine, it's a lot easier to convert that into a client. The next point, the third one, which is onboarding. Onboarding is so much easier than your traditional SMA niches, right? Now, for me at least, when I used to run my marketing agency, I would only offer Instagram and Facebook ads, which would obviously involve in me having to log on to business.facebook.com, go into the business manager, connect the ads accounts, give the access to the pixel, so on and so on and so on. Right? When I was first starting out, that was one of the most confusing fucking things ever. To actually navigate around there, the fact that there's always updates and the interface changes, there's bugs, something doesn't work, it's a nightmare. On top of that, maybe some of your clients that you're looking to work with, they don't even have a business manager, or they don't even have an ads account. So then you have to create one. It's a myth. It's so long. With this, it's simple as this. You're going to work with a girl who's already got OnlyFans, so it's already set up. If not, it's super simple to set up. For us, I'm not going to go into it in this video, but for us, we don't teach you guys to go after completely brand new creators. We recommend you working with ones that already have an OnlyFans. It will just save you a lot of headache. But anyway, that's for another video. But by this point, you probably would have reached out to a model who already has an OnlyFans account created. Simply, you will just share the login details. You can go ahead and access her account and then start helping her manage the OnlyFans. And then with our social media, there's 1 or 2 things that you can do. But anyway, that'll be on to the next point, which is service delivery. But just before we move on to that, in terms of onboarding, I mean, it's really as simple as that, right? If you want to really just look at the basics, it's simple as that. You're literally just going to get her passwords, get login details to whatever you are needed, get access to the content, of course, so you can actually distribute it on OnlyFans and make money for the both of you guys. And really that simple as that. I mean, the kind of more advanced level, I guess if you kind of want to go the extra mile, again, this is something that we teach you guys, is, for example, buy her a bouquet of flowers, right? As a little welcome gift. Go ahead and actually give her a content plan. Go ahead and actually have an onboarding funnel, like a video that sets expectations and so on and so on, right? Again, that can be for another video, but just if you want to look at the basics in terms of onboarding, it's simple as that. There's no fucking about with adding this and waiting for Facebook to allow you with that. It's literally as simple as that. Oh, and just one more thing, whilst I'm kind of talking about onboarding, but this is more so I guess about client acquisition. One of the biggest differences, and this is one of the biggest perks, is in this, the client doesn't have to pay you anything upfront at all. So the girl would never have to pay you like 5,000 a month base fee, right? There is no kind of a setup fee and so on and so on, right? It's literally a commission. So if you are watching this and you're, for example, familiar with a ROAS deal, right? Think of it as that. So all of these would be like 50% ROAS deals. It's literally like that. So that's also why it's a lot easier to acquire clients, because you don't have to convince them to pay you something out of their pocket up front. They simply just agree on a percentage to share every single month the total earnings with you, and that's it. If you don't make them more money, well, they're gonna leave, right? Your job is obviously to increase their earnings. It's as simple as that. Now, point number 4, which is service delivery. So this is of course the biggest thing, where there's obviously a complete difference in your traditional SMMA and kind of the OFM niche, all right? So your traditional SMA, I mean, there are so many different things that you can do, from obviously content creation, page management, obviously paid ads, and then paid ads, whether it's on YouTube, Google, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, right? There's a lot you can go down. With OFM, it's a little bit different in the sense that you would be in charge of managing the OnlyFans account. Okay, so the girl would never have to really log on to, she can, but it's your job to really manage the account and actually grow it. And that entails a bunch of different things, of course. But again, that can be for another video. Check out all the videos on my channel. And then also in terms of social media marketing, you know, it's really one or two things, sorry. It's either going to be actually coaching her and consulting her on how to grow her social media. So again, giving her ideas for content, obviously perhaps giving her a verified TikTok account to help her grow, helping her with kind of scheduling, so when to post, using the right hashtags, and so on and so on. And then also, obviously, the other side is you could actually hire somebody to log on to her social medias and actually post for her as well. So there's kind of different ways of doing it, the same as everything. But in terms of service delivery overall, again, if I'm just going to try and keep it as simple as possible for this video, because I think a lot of you guys, this might be the first ever time that you're watching about OFM. If you just hone it down to the most basics and the most simple terms, it's literally managing the OnlyFans and everything that is involved in that. That would be like 80% of your time. And then 20% would be helping her with her social media. Most of the time as well, actually helping her grow her OnlyFans. Again, there's so many different ways of doing it, different strategies. But one of the easiest ways is just to do paid form of marketing. Now, this wouldn't obviously be like Facebook ads or Instagram ads. These would be what we call GGs, like guaranteed gains. Think of it this way, it's a paid shout out from another model, right? Simple as that. So a lot of the time, at least the way we do it, you wouldn't even need to necessarily go crazy on just content marketing. You can also just do a lot of paid form of advertisement as well. Now, the 5th point is automation. For me personally, this was like one of the best things about SMA or just business in general. I really love making systems and just creating something that works for me, and I don't have to no longer kind of, you know, do the little day-to-day tasks. I love kind of delegating most things that just waste my time. With this in particular, automation is super simple. One of the best things that you can actually automate is the actual OnlyFans account management, okay? So I'm not gonna go too deep into exactly how does it work and what do you press, etc. Because then, you know, we'd be here for like hours. But, you know, once you've done it yourself, again, the same as SMMA, your traditional niche, like for example, if you're running Instagram ads or Facebook ads, I would obviously recommend you to do it yourself for a good couple of months, just so you understand it, and then you hire somebody to actually do it for you, right? The only problem with that, however, is the person you're hiring does have to be somewhat tech savvy. They need to obviously understand how to navigate around a Facebook ads manager. They need to understand how to actually use Facebook ads. They need to understand how to do copywriting, right? And they need to understand how to use the creatives, how to use the targeting, there are so many pixels, lookalike audiences, right? It is kind of tech savvy. You couldn't just hire some random person and, you know, train them within a day or two. With OnlyFans, it's a little bit different. Because it is so simple, and I genuinely mean it is so simple, it just takes a lot of time, you can hire pretty much anybody who's got the time, right? Who's got the effort to actually put into it. And you can train them up from completely no knowledge on how to use OF to essentially becoming an expert on how to manage the account. And it's really simple to actually automate this aspect of the business and save a lot of time. And the more you automate that, the more models you can bring on board, and the easier you can start scaling. And that brings me on to the last point number 6, which is scaling, okay? And so scaling, this is honestly the best part about this whole industry. Scaling, like, the business will scale itself. Let me just explain. So obviously with any SMMA industry, you're obviously familiar with referrals, right? So if you do a great job, you know, your client will refer you to the next client. It's not that common in SMMA. It is obviously if you are absolutely outstanding and every client you get incredible results and you just smash it out the park, right? Which the harsh truth is, for most people, that isn't the case. And the second thing as well is, let's just say you're working with a car dealership, right? This is your niche, right, in SMMA. If you do really, really good marketing for this car dealership, the chances of the car dealership owner referring you, right, to their friend is fairly slim, because at the end of the day, they are real competition, right? Because if this person is selling the car, and their friend or somebody that they know is selling pretty much the same stock, it's not in their best interest to help them really, right? Especially if you're a ninja and you're amazing and you get them great results. With OnlyFans, it doesn't matter. Like with OnlyFans, it's not like everybody, essentially the core principle is all the same. It's just content. Everyone's selling the same stuff in an essence, right? Obviously there's different niches of content and so on and so on, but it's just content. Now with OnlyFans, it's different because the target audience, or just potential clients, like pool of potential clients, I guess, is fucking in the billions. Like literally, the amount of people that can go into OnlyFans and become a potential client, is so huge. Now, the reason why I'm saying all of this is because what you'll find is once you get one girl and you get her amazing results, I promise you, she will tell all of her girlfriends and the word will spread, because then her girlfriends will want to reach out to you. You get some more clients, you then help their girlfriends, and then their girlfriends will tell their girlfriends, and it just literally spirals out of control like that. It's literally as simple as that, right? Especially right now, at the time of this recording, there isn't a lot of agencies. There's not a lot of OnlyFans management agencies. So they're gonna want to refer you, if you've done a great job, to their girlfriend, because who else are they gonna refer? There's nobody else to really do it. So it's just an incredible time to actually get into it. And for me personally, it's one of the, if not the best niche for SMA, if you want to call it as that. So if you're still watching this, please listen very, very carefully, because I've got something really interesting to offer for you. And I've never done one of these things on a YouTube video. So I'm just very, very curious how this is going to pan out. So if you're still watching, I would love to actually give you guys an entire 1 hour, completely free. I'm not selling you anything. It's a completely free 1 hour coaching lesson on 4 different topics. Topic number 1, I will cover exactly what is OnlyFans and how does it really work, right? So how do you actually go about creating an OnlyFans management agency and what does it look like? Second thing, I will teach you exactly the fastest way to get started. I will not only teach you what tools you need, I'll also show you a little bit how to use them and how we use them in our own agency as well. So by this point, you'll understand what is the OnlyFans management industry, what tools you need and how to get started. Number 3, I will literally show you exactly how you can get hundreds of potential clients. And I literally mean 300 plus potential clients. There are more potential clients to work with in this industry than I could by myself, so I'm not afraid to share that with you guys. And then number 4, I'll actually share with you guys exactly step by step, exactly how we helped one of our models actually go from 0 to just over $650,000 on OnlyFans. So all of that, I'd love to share with you guys, and this is what I'd love to try out. So if you're still watching, all I need you to do, I'd just love for you to like this video, because I love to go to 100,000 subscribers on this YouTube. I love to share as much value as possible. So all you guys have to do is leave a like on this video and then drop me a message on Instagram at Marcus Hustle. It'll be the first link in the description of this video, and I'll literally go ahead and send you this entire 1 hour free coaching for you. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. So go ahead and leave a like on this video, message me on Instagram. We'll go ahead and send over the 1 hour coaching call for you guys. And that will explain all of these points and you'll know exactly how to start making money in by far probably one of the most untapped niches there ever has been so far. Now, if you're still watching, check out one of these videos somewhere around here. I'm sure you're gonna enjoy it. My channel now is all about OnlyFans management. So leave a subscribe as well. Go ahead and subscribe. There's plenty of more videos coming out very, very soon. And yeah, hopefully you guys have a good rest of your day. See you on the next one.